Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whale Nerds podcast. This is episode number 61. I'm here with Eric, Adam, Katlyn,
Woohoo!
and
Woohoo! Woohoo! Everyone, woo!
Just a movie.
four
Oh,
whale nerds in
no.
one Skype call.
Scary stuff.
It's a lot of nerds.
Yeah, it is.
We
Really is.
are we're a little bit behind on episodes. We're supposed to keep up on it, but it's in good reason. We'll just blame it on Katlyn.
Because we're
Wow.
actually doing ocean stuff. That's why.
It's true.
Yep. No, Katlyn has it. Katlyn's out of town right now. Katlyn can tell
Oh,
you.
She's doing something badass.
I'm podcasting from the boat.
Yeah, in another state.
Yeah, I'm in Delaware right now.
Delaware.
Hi, we're
Alright.
in Delaware.
So tell everybody what
Anyone know
you've
that
been up
movie?
to.
No one?
Katlyn.
No?
What?
What? Is that a movie code, Eric?
Yeah, you guys are probably too young. There's a movie called Wayne's World, and Delaware's really
Oh.
kind of boring, and,
I know.
and they're like saying hi from all these exciting places, and all of a sudden they're like, hi, we're in Delaware. And you're all like, okay,
Oh,
never mind.
I've seen Wayne's World, but I don't remember that part.
All right.
I
But
couldn't
okay.
quote the
There's
movie. Yeah.
appreciate- yeah. Everyone else is like,
My favorite quote is, if you're going to spew into this, and he pulls out the cup.
The tiny cup, yeah.
I wish I could say that to people on the boat, but they probably look at me like I'm a nutso.
Oh, I've seen them throw up in popcorn cups, coffee cups. Dude, they
Their
have
own
they
their
can
jacket,
spew over
their
own
own
shoe.
purse.
Their own shoe.
their
I haven't
purse.
seen it myself yet. But I really want to see someone throw up without taking off their mask.
Dude.
Oh,
I don't know
I've
if we
seen it.
talked about it, but I saw that.
I know.
Yeah.
I
see
saw
that.
it multiple times this summer.
Dude had like stuff in his eyebrows.
Oh god.
All right, you guys. All right, enough. Katlyn, why are you traveling down the East Coast like a
Why
boss
are you in
in a boat that
Delaware?
goes really fast?
This boat goes so slow. So I'm delivering a Katie Krogan, which is like it's kind of like a yacht, not really. But I'm delivering this boat to its new home in Texas. So we got the contract, me and the whale watch captain I work for this summer, Johnny, in Massachusetts. We started 10 days ago, and we've only made it to Delaware.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, we're in
So-
Delaware.
Yeah. So the boat's really slow. It only goes like 6.5 knots. It's like
Are you
top speed.
serious?
Yeah.
It's gonna
Okay.
take you like
So
2
we'll
months.
see her like
It's
next
gonna
year,
take
possibly.
a million years to get to Texas. But also like it's a pretty small engine. It's like an old Ford Lehman, so it doesn't have a lot of power either. So like if there's like incoming tide and we're trying to go out,
Oh,
like
no.
it can't push very hard.
How are you-
Gosh, imagine you already lose like 2 knots on an incoming tide or like a tide going against
Yeah.
you, right? And then
Yeah.
your boat goes 6 knots, and now you're doing 4 knots.
Yeah.
So you're basically idling.
There were times where we were going 2 knots.
Oh my gosh.
we
That's
like-
gonna take you forever.
We went the first place where we realized how slow the boat really was going to be is we had beautiful glass calm weather when we left Gloucester. We got down to the Cape Cod Canal, and we get into the canal and the current's pouring out at us, and we were going like 3 knots, and I was like, oh my god. So we went through the whole canal at 3 knots, and we just like tucked into like the first harbor outside of the canal. We thought maybe we could make it to Fairhaven, like down in the New Bedford area, and we had to pull into Onset, which was like just outside of the canal, because we were like, it's already getting dark, and we just barely made it through the canal. So then we ran like overnight from Onset into Long Island Sound, and we were trying to make it to the entrance of Hellgate, like the East River, but we weren't going to do the East River at night. So we ran overnight through Long Island. And when we got to the race, which is like the opening of Long Island Sound, the boat was going 2 knots. I was on night watch on the bridge, and I was like, I cannot believe how slow.
Was that
we're
the
going
really-
right now."
Is that the real name, Hellgate?
Yeah,
How fun.
on the harbor end, I think is what it's called, is Hellgate, or maybe where we started. I don't really know,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, if you look it up, you can like see like the Mariner notes online about transiting Hellgate. And so like you really have to, if you're on the Long Island like Bronx side, you
Mhm.
have to leave when it's on the southwest ebb, so it basically pulls you through the East River and out to the harbor, because between the currents and how narrow it is, and like the tugboats and the ferries and everything else, like you won't make it through there unless you have the right conditions.
Seen any cool animals yet?
We saw humpback whales and bottlenose dolphins,
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
lots of gannets, some razor bills.
Any IDs on the humpbacks? I'm just kidding.
No, they didn't fluke. We saw
Mm.
one when we first got out of New York and we were headed down to New Jersey. We saw one breaching, but it was like 2 miles to the east of us, and like
Uh-huh.
this boat's so freaking slow. There's no way we could
No
have
way.
like gone over there and looked at it. So we just watched it
Dude.
breach from a distance.
Uh-huh.
Then we cruised down. Let's see, where did we pull in? We pulled in Barnegat, and then when we finally left Barnegat, then we saw 2 more humpbacks on our way to Cape May. And one was feeding, but it didn't fluke, and then one was like resting at the surface. It was in only like 20 feet of water.
Nice.
So,
Oh, really?
yeah, yep. But no IDs. But we've seen like 3 whales and a lot of dolphins.
No right whales yet?
No, I'm hopeful, but no.
I know Katlyn and I talked about this on the phone one of the nights that we talked while she was out. But
Mhm.
I really want to get a humpback doing anything. You can put his freaking blowhole out of the water, but in front of the Statue of Liberty.
That'd be
Dude,
cool.
that'd be so cool. So
You have to be really close to the humpback though, and wide angle that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
So I think Gotham Whale leaves out of Staten Island, which is by the Statue of Liberty.
Mhm.
And they had been seeing whales like in the days before we went through that area, but it was pretty like the weather was pretty yucky on the outside, like when we got outside of New York Harbor. So we didn't really like get too far offshore to go poke around and look. And then we did see one whale like down the Jersey coast a ways, but yeah, this boat's slow, so
I don't know
can't
how
really
you do that.
can't really deviate from the plan.
I
Yeah,
would
nice.
lose my mind going.
Yeah,
that
but think
slow.
about it, Adam. Going slow means your trip goes long. More potential to see stuff. Because if you're going,
Yeah,
you know,
It's true.
15 knots away, it's not that. It's not even that fast either. But
I
still,
know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
you're
We're
going
like,
15
True.
knots.
We're just like, could this boat even go 10 knots? Like, geez.
Especially if you want to find a right whale. Yeah, nice and slow is
we're
good.
going like the same pace as a migrating whale, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah,
That's fun.
it's so slow that the dolphins won't bow ride. Like some of the
Oh my
bottlenose
gosh.
came over, and like I saw it go under the bow for a second, and then it just peeled off. I think because we're too slow.
You
Wow.
could've
Yeah,
pushed
they
them.
don't like that, dude. They want to play.
I know.
You don't
Like
give them a
there's like
free
an
ride, they're
ideal
out.
speed where you like. I feel like it's like 8 or 9 knots. They're like, yeah, let's go.
They could have pushed you and made you go faster.
I know, seriously.
If you're in a rib and you're going too fast, they'll come over, but they like leave pretty quickly. They're not.
Yeah.
If you're going too fast, they're not into it.
The same
Well,
thing with
they'll
you
stay
going
with
too
it,
slow. They did the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
They like it a safe. It's like a safe speed, probably. You know.
yeah, easy surfing speed.
So wait, how long is your trip supposed to take?
Our original estimate was 40 days, but we've been in port like down days for like I think we've had 4 days because of weather. So and some mechanical issues that we've been kind of troubleshooting as we go. It's an older boat. It's like a 1983, and like they're not made to like do the transport that we're doing. So we're just trying to be as gentle with it as possible to get
Yeah,
it
for sure.
to its new owner. So
conditions getting better because I know Florida got pretty rocked with the storms and all that stuff. So
yeah, so I think we're just kind of like getting these weird remnant storms because like it was blowing northeast, then it was blowing southwest, now it's blowing northwest. Like it just keeps changing like every few days. And so and then like the swell doesn't always match, like the swell we see when we're out there does not always match the reports. So we're just trying to like be as careful as possible. I've never had to consult tide charge as much in my life as I have the last 10 days either, because this boat literally can't handle the current of an incoming or outgoing tide depending on which direction you're going.
You need to plan the trip
Gosh.
around tides that you can surf.
Yeah, like we're getting up at like 4 tomorrow because we have to leave on slack tide. Otherwise, we won't be able to leave till like noon.
Oh wow.
So,
Louise.
yeah. But
Katlyn,
I mean, it's definitely been an adventure.
Katlyn and I had talked at like 4 in the morning your time, I think, right? When I was 11,
No, it was like 2
1
in the morning.
Yeah, 2 in the morning.
Like 1 to 2 in the morning my time because you were going on the overnight boat.
Yeah, so I was driving second on the overnight fishing boat, and I was like, well, I need to stay awake, so I called Katlyn. I had texted you, and you said you were like, you had some mechanical issues, so you had to turn into a harbor.
Yeah, we turned into Barnegat, and then I think that was the night I was on dock line watch too. So like I had to get up every couple hours and make sure, because we were on like a fixed pier, but we were gonna have to adjust the lines with the tide. Because it was also windy, so we didn't want them to be too loose, because then the boat's just gonna be banging on the pier all night.
Is it just 2 of you or 3 of you?
2.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. We could sleep 3. I mean, you could only probably sleep 5 people on this boat if you wanted. Like my bunk actually right here above me is a bunk bed, and then there's a pull-out couch in the living room, and then there is a couch/bed up in the wheelhouse too. So, yeah. So if you
Anywhere
really
on the
wanted
boat's
to,
a good place to sleep.
yeah, pretty much. So, yeah.
So funny because before I called you that night, whenever I drive the overnight fishing boat, it's like I either see dolphins in my like first 10 minutes of me just, like taking over and driving, or it's like right between the islands like San Clemente and Catalina, somewhere around there. But I wish it was like around 3 or 4 in the morning, so that when I'm really tired, it's like I get an energy boost from the dolphins.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I love calming dolphins at nighttime. It's seriously like so cool.
Get some bioluminescent dolphins.
No bioluminescence. That could happen in the winter though.
I mean, do you have spotlights? How do you know?
I have deck lights on, so I can see them. But
Okay.
honestly, a lot of times if I have the wheelhouse door open, like because there's a door behind me, there's a door on both sides of the wheelhouse.
Mhm.
So if I have it open to my right, I can hear. Like sometimes I'll hear a splash.
You can hear 'em, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll look over and I can just see like the glow of the water,
Yeah.
and then I'll look out and then I can look out because the deck lights are on the back, so I can see them riding in the wake. And sometimes I'll walk up to the front and look at them bow riding for a second. So crazy.
Yeah.
Even in the pitch black, they'll bow ride. Like they don't care.
No, because they don't. I mean, they see with sound. They don't need the light.
Just seeing with their eyes closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I was on night watch, I was like, I wonder if I would even notice if like there was dolphins or something.
You honestly have to hear them. Like that's how every time I usually like go, or I'll see like a glow out in front of me at like 1 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm just looking at all I'm looking at is the radar, GPS.
Yeah. Yep.
And like I have the fish finder on sometimes for fun, but like other than that, I'll see a random glow or like a sparkle from like one of the lights hitting it.
Yeah.
Like, or I'll see and so that's when I'll know there's dolphins. I'll start looking, and then I'll look to the side and see them. Sometimes what I come across though is like random birds, like who knows what they are, I can't even see, but they just like come like a million miles an hour across the thing. I'm like, whoa. It could have been a penguin for all I know, just as zooms by.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was just watching the equipment all night. I couldn't really see anything. I didn't notice any birds or anything like that, but it was pretty choppy, and there was a couple big ships to like keep track of, so I was focused on that.
Yeah.
And we went so slow, the dolphins wouldn't want to hang out with us anyway.
Jeez.
Going like 4 knots most of the night, and then we dropped down to 2 when we got into the sound entrance. It was like, Jesus. But
that is brutal.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're gonna try and make it down the coast again tomorrow. See what happens.
So far you've seen coastal bottlenose and humpbacks on your journey.
And we saw harbor porpoise outside of the Cape Cod Canal.
Nice.
Back east, do you guys have like coastal and then offshore bottlenose, or how's it work over there?
I don't really know actually. They might just be coastal.
That's why I said coastal because I didn't even think that they would have offshores.
Yeah, I know they have coastal, but yeah, that's. I wonder.
Wait.
East coasters chime in.
Yeah, somebody
They've
that
got
well,
to, I would think
and
so,
that's the
but
thing
Never
is
mind.
like the continental shelf is so far, like it's so shallow. Like
Mhm.
we're
Mhm.
hardly in more than 100 feet of water.
Well, maybe they have like those because when I went to Fiji, they had Indo-Pacific bottlenose. Maybe they have like an Indo-Atlantic bottlenose, like down near the Caribbean or something. It's not
No,
possible, but something like that.
it'd just be like a
that doesn't make.
yeah,
Wait,
it'd
I
just
know
be
it
an
doesn't make sense, but I'm
offshore.
saying something on that side. I like
It'd be
that.
like a tropical
I
Atlantic
get
or
that.
something if there was anything, but I don't know. I don't know too much about those actually. I think what they mostly
That's
see
a Christmas
offshore
one.
is like common dolphins.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I'm hoping like if we do get through the Gulf and we have some good weather, I want to see like Frasers or clay minis or something like that. But
Uh-huh.
we'll
That'd be
see.
so
We'll see how it goes. Because the rest of the way, so what's going to happen here pretty soon is we're going to get to Norfolk, Virginia, and there's this thing called the Atlantic Intercoastal Waterway. So it's
Mhm.
like most of the states on the Atlantic coast have like these barrier islands, and so once you get south of Norfolk, they've basically built this waterway for big ships to go through there, or bigger vessels. Like there's an intercoastal waterway here too from Massachusetts on down, but it's like our boat draws 5 to 6 feet of water and it's 4 feet deep at mean low tide. So like we can't transit those areas, but once we get past Virginia, we'll be on the inside. We can still see dolphins, and we'll probably see manatees when we get down to Florida, but
Mhm.
you know, it's not super likely to see whales or anything because we'll be tucked inside.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
we'll
you'll
see.
love you'll love the intercoastal. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it looks cool. So we'll see how it goes when we get down in there.
Yeah, Florida part is going to be interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then as we get closer to the Gulf, you know, we'll see. They're having a rough winter down there.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go for us. We may end up having to be stuck somewhere for a while. But we'll see. I mean, when it gets close to Christmas, we might just be like, yo, we left the boat here. We're going home for Christmas. We'll be back. Because it might take that long, you know?
Yeah.
So, yep. But that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Good experience, but I'd kill to spend that much time on the water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's been more stressful than I thought it was going to be between the weather and some of the issues we've been having, but we're getting it sorted out.
Cool.
You better be getting a fat paycheck.
Money's pretty good.
That's good.
We
So-
begin a fat right whale.
I want to see a right whale.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
I said if
awesome.
we see a right whale on the way down, like, I'll call it good.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. I'd probably cry a little bit if I saw a right whale.
But we met the crew at the Cape May Whale Watcher because we were stuck there for a few days, and actually they bought the Hurricane 1, so like Johnny and I work on the Hurricane 2. And
Oh, no way.
so they like know our bosses and stuff. So our boss was like, "Hey, if you're gonna go down, go see those guys if the timing works out." And it was super convenient because like we hit the weather window and then we needed a place to pull in, and Cape May was like sunset time, so we got in there. He like let us park at his marina by his boats, and then like the next day we got there, gave us a tour of his vessels. Dude, they have done some really cool stuff with their boats, like not necessarily stuff that passengers would notice, but like as crew, you're like, wow, that is so freaking nice for maintenance and like access and like ability to get around the vessel and stuff like that. Like they have a really cool operation going there. So if anybody's in New Jersey, I would recommend going to see them at the Cape May Whale Watcher because they're super nice and their boats are really cool. So
awesome.
we had a lot of boat envy after he gave us the tour of his 2 vessels. I was like, dang, I wish we would do stuff like that with our boat. But it's like stuff that it's like, dude, this probably costs like $60,000. And like you didn't it was like a luxury thing.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
I
Like,
didn't even know that Jersey had some. I didn't know. I know New York had whale watching, but I didn't know Jersey had.
Yeah, there's 2 companies down in Cape May.
Okay.
So, and they have like they have some like shoal areas. They said they see dolphins like almost every single trip. He's like 99.9% of the time we see dolphins on our dolphin watch trip. Then they have like a dinner cruise thing, and then they have whale watches. And they said this summer was pretty good for whale watches, but like they don't guarantee whales.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, go for a few days. You know our recommendations.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go someplace and you want to see something specific, go for a few days at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, they super nice. They're just like, yeah, pull in there. There's 30 amp shore power. Have at it. We're like, thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because we ended up being stuck there for like 2.5 days because of the weather. So worked out perfect. Good to have friends in the whale world.
Yeah, for sure. Always helps out.
So what have you guys been doing?
I want to hear about Eric's day.
I've been whale watching as usual. Yeah, and usually if I'm not podcasting with you guys, I'm out looking for animals. But yeah, it's my day off, but I decided to hop on a boat anyway with our buddies over at Princess Monterey Bay Whale Watch. Captain Bill and crew were nice enough to let me on. And
you've been going out there a lot, huh?
Yeah. I visit everyone on my days off. I can't stay off the water, you know me. I have to be looking for an animal, or I might die. So
same.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I went out there. You know, everything is to the north of the bay right now, so we had a lot of water to cover. We're just going out, and I'm just on the bow. You know, I was like, they let me on, so I'm going to help look. So I saw what I thought was Rizzos, but they were, you know, I looked kind of suspicious because they looked bigger than Rizzo, so I ran to the wheelhouse, and then everyone else realized when I was running, and they're like, we see that too. And yeah, I was 5 killer whales consuming a sea lion. Well, they haven't consumed it yet, but the sea, we got closer, and the sea lion actually swam under our boat, and you know what happened after that?
I saw some videos. It looked like they were doing a little bit of killer whale school.
Yeah. Amber had it on video, so it looks like it's Emma's girl and her pod. You know.
Yeah.
Luis.
Doing some training. Yeah. The ones you got
Luis.
months ago.
Yeah. I saw. I've seen Luis.
Yeah. So
That's
it was
awesome.
She has like a 4 or 5-year-old and a toddler.
Yeah.
So
the toddler's a rinky dinky, no saddle patch, barely showing. You know, really rinky.
Yeah, she just had a new one. I think at the end of 2019.
Yeah, we really don't know. Yeah,
she should have 3 now.
Yeah, so.
Oh, maybe that other juvenile was hers too. So it's like her, another adult, 2 juveniles, and a baby.
Her, Lil B, Buzz. I don't know what to.
Did forget the names.
Yeah, there's
age class.
But there's 3. There's 3 little baby. Yeah, there's just 3 kids.
2, but it's a group of 5, right? So it's 2 adults, 2 juveniles, and a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool for our passengers. They popped up right under the boat because the sea lion was right under the boat, and that was it.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, they do shorter trips, you know, about 2.5 hours, but yeah, action packed, and we saw some humpbacks in Rizzo. So yeah, good day out there. So hopefully they'll still be there tomorrow when I head back out. So
yeah, that'd be fun.
Will they be there when I be there?
Yeah. You want to leave tonight, Adam?
Yeah. Why don't you come meet me here, please?
I'll drive up tonight.
Will the killer whale still be there when I get there?
Yeah.
In 6 months.
Are you coming back?
Yeah.
Are you coming back?
No, I don't know. Dude, it's gonna take me until next whale watch season to get to Texas.
True.
I know, dang, that's crazy. I thought you were gonna have time to chill.
I'm not even gonna have time to drive home to see my family. I'm just gonna have to go pick up my car with all my stuff in it in Gloucester and go find a new place to live for whale watch season.
Hey, you might as well not even leave out of Gloucester then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, when they say 6 knots, that's like a hopeful speed.
Oh, that's awful. So were you the first ones on the killer whales, Eric?
Yeah, today we were the first ones. We spotted it and everything. For some reason, it's slowing down a lot here. You know, with everything going on. So there are literally only 3 boats on the water. We're all spread out. So only 2 boats got to see us and our buddies over at Sea Goddess. Yeah.
Oh, so were they like in the middle of the canyon then?
Kind of. Yeah, we were literally just passing Moss, I think. So we're above the 47 line a bit. Yeah.
Oh, like up towards SoCal? Were you
Yeah.
that far in? Yeah.
Not even that far. It's just barely past the 47 line. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're probably like 48 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I mean, if it was the Sea Goddess, it's not a very fast boat, so it had to be close to Moss Landing for them to get it. If it was the Fantasy, that one's faster.
Yeah. So yeah, we had fun out there. Everyone I think got good looks, but good day out there. But other than that, yeah, it's been a good November. You know, we still got a lot of whales here, and they're
You
still
guys been
hungry.
seeing some cool humpbacks. I saw your pictures of that one.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's been seeing some cool humpbacks. Even what's funny is mine and that one that they shot over at Newport almost have the similar shaped flukes. The tips are all missing, but yeah, they're whales that haven't been seen in a while or been seen great distances from this area. Yeah.
Nice. Didn't
I
you have
saw
a blue
that.
match, Adam?
Yeah, I had one. It was the calf of Summit, and Summit is a whale, a female that goes to the Salish Sea every year from Mexico. And this is, I think, I don't know if it's her first calf, but it's the first one that we've seen kind of doing the same route. So it's just kind of cool to watch them take after their mom, and it's kind of cool to see it halfway. Well, the interesting thing was that there was no mom when I saw it, and it was just a little calf by itself. So it's cool to see that somewhere north of Santa
What?
Barbara it split off from its mom at some point.
Your mom?
But it's pretty cool. But yeah, I always hear about people talking about whales going all the way up to Washington from Mexico, but I've never actually seen it myself. So it's cool to actually ID one and get in the game. So
Yeah, it's
that was cool.
Interesting that it made it that far down as like a young of the year, like
Mm-hmm.
because some people will tell you like, oh, they don't migrate for their first few years. I mean, there's no point really. They're too little. That's a really long journey, and then they're not, mature. So why make that sacrifice? But there's also food all the way down from Washington. So
That's the nice thing. Stop in Monterey and Santa Barbara and a whole bunch of good food stops along the way.
yeah.
How have you guys been doing in Santa Barbara? You guys still got a good variety out there right now, or how has it been?
It's been really good. We've been off the water for a couple of days just because of low numbers. Well,
Yeah.
we're usually down Mondays and Tuesdays just for maintenance anyways when we start to slow down, but even more so now that we've had a couple bad weather days and a couple of low number days. So luckily we're going out tomorrow, so I'll be out there tomorrow. But we've been getting good numbers of humpbacks, usually like 10 or so a trip. And we've had a couple blue whales still hanging out, which is pretty cool. It's starting to get late in the year for them. And we also had some fin whales the past week or so. We had 2 fin whales. So
how have so about 10 humpbacks per trip, really?
Yeah, we've been getting 8 to 10.
You think they'll still be there when I get there?
When are you gonna be there?
You guys all meet in Santa Barbara.
I know it's so slow right now. Maybe I'll come visit you and you spend more time down there.
You should, yeah. I'll let you know what it's like tomorrow. Again, we've been out 3 or so days, but on Sunday, yeah, they had 10 humpbacks breaching and mugging the boats. We had a good mugging about a week ago. They were
mugging.
Yeah,
Did you take all your money?
Yeah, they took all.
It took all of Adam's screaming.
All his money.
Yeah, they definitely stole my laughter. And
That's
screaming.
probably why they came over to the boat. They heard Adam scream one time. They made a close pass on accident, and then they were like, "What the heck is that?
What is that thing?
What is that?
Is that one of us? 4-year-old girl. That 4-year-old girl is really loud.
Remember when we were singing to the whales?
Oh my god, are you serious?
On the when we went to
on our trip,
Monterey last,
our trip. Yeah, I started. What was I doing? Rapping or singing or something?
Oh yeah, you were singing Fergie to the whale.
Oh yeah, Fergie.
We were singing
they
Fergie
love
songs
humpback. This is a scientific fact. Humpback whales love Fergie.
Fergie fur?
Disclaimer: that is not true.
No, yeah, they don't.
I'm gonna put the Twitter fact check emblem.
But do they like Fergie by herself or with the Black Eyed Peas, like solo Fergie or like Black Eyed Peas?
I'm pretty sure I I was rapping I'm a bee.
First off, I'm pretty sure Adam has, when I get in his car, he has that CD in his number one CD socket. And he's ready.
Dude, the Black Eyed Peas are so good.
Is the Humpback's favorite song My Humps?
Dude.
Yeah, my humps. Yeah, it is.
That's Adam's favorite song, dude.
It's not the Humpback's favorite song. It's Adam's favorite song. Okay.
Oh God.
Dude, I swear I started singing that song and it was Halo and his mom. They came straight over to the boat and they were just hanging out. And I was like, see, there you go, Slater.
You know
Oh
what?
my goodness.
It's a science here, everyone. Yeah, Humpbacks like my humps.
Science.
Science.
Adam and I went on that trip. I don't even know. It's probably a month now. Up to Monterey that we were gonna do like a special video for. We still
Hey,
might. Well, whatever. I'm telling them what we saw.
It's in the editing
Spoiler alert.
process.
Wasn't I with you guys on this trip?
Yeah, you came. You weren't there for one of the days because it was like you were working on another boat at the first day.
God.
First day we went up. What did we see the first day, dude? We had
Humpbacks and Rizzo.
Oh, I was thinking of the other.
We saw some northern right whale dolphins too. You're thinking of the 8 hour.
Yeah, my 8-hour trip was. We went down the coast. We had lunch feeding humpbacks. We had Rizzos and white tides. Then on the way back, we had a blue whale, and then I think we had something else too. But it was like in one trip. But no, yeah, the trip that you and I went out on, we had humpbacks and Rizzos, and then I think the next day we had humpbacks, Rizzos, white tides, northern right whale dolphins. That was when we were doing the tow cam, trying to get some sick footage.
Yeah, I remember the tow cam.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I've never Point Lobos was beautiful. I'd never been there.
You guys shallow too.
Gorgeous.
I love it when we get that way.
They took us all the way into like Whalers Cove area, or like right next to Whalers Cove, but like way in there.
Oh,
and it was.
nice.
And we even went like further south. Like I've never been that far south on a whale watch trip in Monterey, so it was just like beautiful to see the mountains and stuff. And it was just awesome to spend 8 hours in the water and not have to worry about passengers and just hang out with your buddies and eat some food and hang out and photograph whales.
At one point, we literally stopped the boat.
Ever.
We weren't seeing any whales, and there was definitely whales to be seen in the bay. We just wanted to explore offshore. So we literally at one point just stopped the boat. Do you remember that? And we just all sat there.
Yeah, we all just sat there and listened. Like it was so beautiful. Nice. It was like no engines. It was a beautiful, calm day, and we were all just like listening to the water and just like
praying for killer whales.
Yeah, it was a perfect day. Yeah,
eating
cheese balls.
Oh my gosh!
Later bought like this 5-gallon bucket of cheese balls,
and they were all gone at the end.
Yeah, Brian, dude.
Brian ate half the buckets.
Nothing with enjoying whales with your bros, eating cheese balls, and listening to Fergie.
Have Adam sing Fergie.
That was the day
Adam singing Fergie.
You guys were all posting photos, and I was like, okay, I miss all these people. What the heck?
It's nothing like looking at humpbacks while singing my humps.
I'm sure you were singing too, Eric, because I know I have heard you sing that song many a time.
Oh, I always sing my humps.
Yeah, but Adam is on cue. He knows the song.
Yeah.
Adam might have autographs in his room. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, Adam might have wrote that.
Met the girl down at the disco. She said, "Hey, here, let's go. I can be a baby." Okay.
Yikes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good day. We've had a couple of good days recently. The boys have been hanging out.
I got an idea, Katlyn. You said you're sad and you miss all hanging out. Well, why don't we do a whale nerds trip?
I know. Can COVID be over already?
Oh, yeah, that's my question, you guys. Eric, Adam, you both work for an active whale watch right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to shut some stuff down. Gyms just got put out.
Getting a little worried, yeah.
You guys feel like it might happen to you pretty soon here?
I don't mind as long as we're all safe, I don't mind them shutting us down.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm just curious if you guys think it's happened to whale watch. I mean, if they moved all the... So weird. They moved all the restaurants back outside, right? Because at least where I'm at, some places you still can't eat inside, but where we live in Southern California, you can. And same with where Adam lives in Santa Barbara, you can eat inside. Obviously, there's social distancing and spaced out seating, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't understand if the boats it's going to happen to them. I get it's outside, so I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. My question is if there is like a statewide shutdown or whatever, like does that affect us in the yard? I would assume not. but maybe it does because we just got 2 more weeks left, and then our season is over. Because we're going to the yard. 2 months in the yard.
Yeah, the yard is considered maintenance, so I don't think that's like mandatory. So I don't think they'll affect the yard much,
Well, yeah, I mean, places where you're not dealing with the general public, I think as long as you're following, whatever
Guidelines.
OSHA is saying is safe, like, wearing masks and social distancing and that kind of stuff, then
Yeah.
I think you're probably fine. Whatever the public health department is saying, and then if there's any interim health and safety ordinances, for the workplace. It's going to be interesting for us. I mean, right now, the further south we go, I think it's going to be less and less to consider. But I'm jumping off on the docks or like throwing dock lines to people here.
Yeah.
And, we have to have our masks on and stuff, like running around, jumping on and off the boats. But as we go further south, a lot of those states don't have nearly as many regulations. But then, like Massachusetts has had a travel quarantine like all summer, and it's getting stricter and stricter and stricter. So I don't know how I'm gonna go back and get my car when we're done.
Yeah.
You'll be able to go back. You have a possession there. You should be able to go back.
Yeah. So they might. I don't know if they're gonna require a COVID test or if they're gonna require quarantine or COVID test before and after. I don't know. I mean, our exposure is gonna be so low on the boat. We mostly just see each other all day. And we both got tested before we left, so I don't know.
Yeah, I just got tested too. I'm negatory.
Oh, you already got it back?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. I don't have COVID. Very happy.
Why'd you get tested? Just for your own good, or?
A couple people I know, their roommates got tested positive, so I was like,
oh, geez.
So yeah, that was definitely a little bit scary, but
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, good thing you did it. Yeah.
All healthy. It's crazy. It's even like it's just getting a cold or something now. It's just like, oh gosh, like.
Yeah, I had a cold before we got right when we got the contract. I came down with a head cold and I was like, shoot. So I went and got a test and was like, I really think it's just a head cold, but I'm gonna get tested before I go on a boat with one other person for 40 days.
For sure.
And it came back negative, and I'm fine now, but.
You're telling me I have asthma. You guys know me. I have asthma and stuff always, and allergies always. So I literally I took my inhaler the last 2 days, and it's like, it's like every time I do anything, I'm like, great, I'm probably sick.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes if it's like, oh, am I gonna die tomorrow, or is it just my allergies?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's such a weird world we live in.
In October, the landlord at my house turned the furnace on, and I always have a couple days of pretty bad allergies whenever the furnace goes on in the house. And our house is the house I was living in this summer is super old. And I was like, oh man, I have a sore throat. I don't have any other symptoms. He just turned the furnace on yesterday. I'm sure it's that. And it went away after 2 days. And I was like, okay, it was just the furnace. But I was like, oh my God, what if I have COVID?
Oh.
What
a world.
Yeah.
But hopefully this vaccine will help out everyone.
I know the results are looking pretty good on the preliminary reports from multiple companies. So
yeah,
hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And
Is
hopefully,
there, Go ahead.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, hopefully we've learned a few lessons from this. I think I've said that quite a few times over the last.
That'd be good. us humans are pretty bad at learning from history, but.
Yeah, we are.
What do I know?
Yeah, what do you know, Adam?
What do I know?
Do you even eat local?
I'm just a whale nerd.
I said, do you even eat local?
You sweet summer child.
That's me. Is there any whale news? I can't necessarily think of any.
Happywhale had a really cool match a couple days ago where they had a whale that feeds in Antarctica go up both sides of South America in different seasons.
That one.
Yeah, that was super cool. It was documented off of the Atlantic coast, and then the next season or a later season, it was documented off the Pacific coast.
Dude, you have to be the coolest humpback to
been
do
some-
that. Cooler than all the other ones. Like you're like, bro,
Yeah,
are you kidding me? I was on the Pacific side last season, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it was probably a male, because I feel like once a female finds a spot to like give birth, they don't really want to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
But maybe he's like, hey, I met this cool lady whale on the peninsula, and she said, come up this way instead.
He's like, you can fight for me up here, you little rascal.
That's awesome. It's cool. We've been seeing a couple more of those. Like I was talking to Delaney about the one they had in Newport that was seen off of Russia, and it's just like it's so like we always try to put these animals in boxes and like say we know them and like we're seeing their patterns, their behaviors, and we know what they do. These ones migrate from Mexico to Monterey Bay, and it's like these things just do what they want. Like they always surprise us, and I think that's probably my favorite thing about whales. Is just like you never know what they're gonna do.
Well, we've only been studying them for like
40
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best thing about our field of science. All our answers aren't set answers. There's always a what if or an exception. It's not like math where there's always a definite answer. That's what I love about our field.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always say like you think you have a whale figured out, and then they go ahead and prove you wrong.
Yeah, that's why the people who think they know everything, they're assholes. Oh shit, can I say that? But
we're gonna have to bleep that out now, Eric.
Like it's science.
Sorry,
so we're never gonna
Bennett.
know. Oh yeah, there's a few other younger ones too. I know there's at least one more. Yeah, but his mom's gonna yell at me.
Who, Adam's mom?
She comes out on your boat.
I know, but
Adam's mom's gonna yell at us too.
Probably.
Not cursing in front of Adam.
Right.
He's sensitive. I don't know. It's just it's so cool. I don't know. Whales are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
There's always something to learn. Always something to learn from them too.
Yeah, the surprises are always awesome. Like our poor beluga, that was awesome. All that stuff.
Sad, but crazy cool. Oh, and then I keep seeing every week or so more reports of those killer whales harassing boats still.
Yeah.
Still, huh?
Yeah, off the coast of Europe, off the coast of, I think it's off of Spain and Portugal still. Yeah. And they think it's the same ones. I haven't seen any like new research information from those people that were looking into it. But I do see like tabloid style news of like new incidences. So. Yeah,
it's these two brothers that they've been kind of singled out. It's been going after the brothers and stuff like that. And it's still literally like we don't know. It's just happening.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, it's going after rudders.
So that's to be continued, a developing story, but that's so interesting. I mean, we're going on like 4 months of this behavior or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why science is awesome. We just might never know, but it's still cool to think about what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Those were the two main whale news things that I saw.
Yeah. Me too.
No,
I did a. Go ahead.
No, there's something about the Pacific Northwest, and I don't. Go ahead, Adam, because I'm trying.
The dams, Slater.
No. It's something else. Adam, you talk, Adam, and I'm looking for the email because I can't. I actually the other day. Let me tell you this real quick. The other day, I actually marked all my stuff, and I tried to mark it as red, and I marked it as junk. Now all my stuff's in the junk, and then I moved it out of my junk. Now all my stuff that's up to date is like from last year this time. So I don't, dude. Honestly, so I'm so sad right now.
That's the dumbest feature. But the other day I did a little Instagram poll because I saw there's this video that's going around of some dude, and I gave him the dude on Instagram and asked him about it, and he was saying the encounters from like 2013. He was in New Zealand, and he like was just chilling on the beach, and like a pod of killer whales he swam out to them, and so I was
he jumped off the rocks.
Yeah. I saw
was
that
like,
on your story.
What do you do in this situation? Like, do you feel this is an invasion of the whales? Do you feel comfortable enough? Do the laws in your country obviously say yes or no? Or like, because personally, I'd love to see killer whales underwater and photograph and film them. That's one of my like dreams that, I definitely want to do, but it'd have to be in the right circumstances. It'd have to be in Norway or in a place that's reputable and does it properly. But at the same time, if I was sitting on that beach and I saw a pot of killer whales by, I'd be like, I want to go in there, but what do you do? So it was actually really surprising. There's a lot of people that said, no way I would. Well, first off, there's a lot of people that were terrified that no way I would jump in the water with those things, which is valid. They're an apex predator. And then a lot of people were like, absolutely yes, and definitely no. So it seems pretty split there.
Yeah, the way that caption was written, it looked like he had a typo or something, but it seemed like people were driving him up the coast to keep up with them, and he kept jumping in
Oh,
with them.
really? Yeah,
At least that's what I was kind of gathering from his caption. I don't know if that's true.
I didn't think about that, but maybe if that's true, that's a totally different story, I think.
He said something about people picking me up to keep up with them, and I was like, so in a car or like what?
Yeah.
Because you jumped in from shore. But I don't know if I would jump in on them like as they're transiting. If I was like, if they were in the area and I was swimming and then they came to me, like, cool.
Different circumstance.
He like jumped in front of him basically, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, he did get pretty close as well. I think that's kind of invasive.
They definitely circled back to check him out.
They definitely checked him out.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
If they were scared, they would have just dipped.
No, that's true. But I don't know, something about just like charging out in front of him and like to me it doesn't.
If anything, it's really just risky for his life. If anything, right?
Yeah.
I also do think it's like we say, oh, okay, we'll do it in Norway because they do it there. We're swimming with humpbacks in Tonga because they do it there.
It's true.
Yeah,
a lot of that stuff would be the same thing if they did it in Hawaii. We would say, oh, we'll do it in Hawaii, or we do it in Mexico. 100%. It's just because in the United States we're very, I don't know, I wouldn't say afraid.
We have a very hands-off marine mammal policy.
Yes, and we're very like, I don't know. I think people are worried about being sued more here than they are in other countries. I think too. So I don't think it's I don't think it's just harassing the animals. I think it's worried about people jumping out of boats and stuff like that too.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, you want to do it in Norway, Adam. Who's to say that you don't go out with a company that doesn't just like drive up in front of the whales and throw you in the water in front of them?
Completely. I'm
sure, I don't know if that's what happens there, but could be the same situation, and you think it's reputable just because they always do it there, and then you're like, wow, this is maybe not so good.
We had a mugging like last year in 2019, and this whale was just like going ballistic, like peg slapping around the boat, like spy hopping around, and he was going crazy. It was awesome. And this private boater came out of nowhere and like sat up next to us, and the whale was like going in between boats and stuff. And the dude put on a snorkel and a swim trunks, and he jumped in the water with the thing. And the whale beelined it straight towards him, and he was so terrified. He like jumped out of the water. It was like he drove his boat, like he was terrified. And this little humpback was like just checking him out, and all of us in the boat were just like laughing. We're like, first off, like obviously don't do that, but like it was just he was terrified of this happy little whale coming to check him out. But like you definitely shouldn't do that stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough thing, because other countries do it. I feel like the U.S. is definitely more stringent on that, But I don't know. It's a tough area of debate. Like I definitely would love to swim with whales and see them underwater and stuff, but I think there is a right place and a right time to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so I couldn't find the email because I don't know. It's not in junk. I don't know where it went. But I just googled. The WDFW proposal for the southern resident killer whales.
Is this what you called me about a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. So this is basically it's a commercial whale watching license program is what they're trying to implement. Oh. And it's for the southern resident killer whales. So here I'm going to read it to you. Option A includes a 3-month July to September season for motorized commercial whale watching for southern resident killer whales. I think it's like 10 to 12 at noon. You get 2 hours at this time. Then there's a break from 12 to 2, and then you get 2 to 4 p.m. So you'll get 2 periods of the daytime, 2 hours during those periods. And and that allowed a closer than 1/2 nautical mile limit of 3 motorized commercial whale watching vessels per group of southern resident killer whales. And then it says in the final stage of drafting the proposed rule text that would limit viewing of Friday through Monday. So this is only on the weekends. And then the other one is
It's illegal to see southern resident killer whales Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
No, Monday through
geez.
Friday. You only get them on the weekends.
That's insane.
Saturday, Sunday.
Makes
And then
sense.
the other one is basically option B is will allow a couple vessel or one vessel, I believe. See, this is an older proposal because the one that I got was written up differently. But it'll allow like one whale watch vessel to have a special license and they can watch them May, June, October, and November. And then the rest of the other ones can go back to that July through September. And same thing, limit 3 motorized vessels during 2 hours of the day, 2 times a day.
One vessel or one company?
3 vessels, no, per group. So if there's like L and J pod, you could only have, that means you could have 6 boats, but they have to be, yeah, like, I don't know. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's so unrealistic for how you watch wild animals.
Both options propose a formalizing no-go zone on the west side of San Juan Island, which is basically line killed. I think it used to, what is it, a half mile from there? So they're getting rid of that half mile and they're just putting a no-go zone.
The whole western side of San Juan, because they do that west side shuffle. The residents do that west side shuffle. They go up and down the west side, and they're looking for fish.
100-yard corridor along the shore for kayaks. The no-go zone included in both alternatives would apply year-round, regardless of southern resident killer whales.
So
What about the commercial fishing boats that are in there?
Yeah. Okay. Wait. But back up before we go there. Who issues the permit, and who enforces the
WDFW? Yeah. WDFW is the whale police in.
Yeah, but they also are supported by a whole bunch of volunteers, right? Like Soundwatch is not WDFW.
No, definitely not.
So now you're throwing legal ramifications into viewing and permitting processes, and you're supported by volunteer organizations. So how the hell where are you gonna come up with the money for that? From the permits, I guess.
And how is this going to help the southern resident killer whale?
There's a couple of issues I have with that. It's like obviously one, they're ignoring the problem, right? They're putting on the whale watch companies instead of actually coming up with a solution that is going to get these whales fed and get them in better health. The other problem I have with that is like the San Juan Islands, like people go there to whale watch, and like that economy there is highly based on tourism, so because you're affecting the whale watch companies doesn't mean you're not affecting the restaurants, doesn't mean you're not affecting the gift shops, doesn't mean you're not affecting anything else on the islands. Because if and Slater and I were talking about this the other day, and it's like people don't understand the difference between a resident and a transient or a bigs. The majority of people are like, oh, you can't watch killer whales there, then like why would I go there?
Yeah, things are getting pretty tough for them. Because I completely forgot. I just came back from up there. Remember, guys?
Yeah.
And guess what? They just shut down like 2 days ago for COVID. So on top of the quarantine stuff,
it just doesn't make sense to me. You're ruining people's livelihoods and entire communities that are based around this.
And this year, I didn't know the Canadian border, even in the water line, was shut down too. They couldn't cross over to Canada. To get to these whales, so they had it pretty tough. Yeah.
And Sarah was telling me, I was like, I want to come up. She's like, just so you know, it's very tricky because if the whales go across the line, we can't watch them anymore.
I talked to her about that. That's why I stayed. Yeah.
Yep.
So wait, say that again. The U.S. can't go into Canadian waters?
No, because the border of Canada is closed.
And
even within the water is closed. Yeah.
Because last year I ran trips up there, right? I ran my first trips up there, all day trips. Well, I was gonna do it this September and October. I had them planned. They kept calling me and letting me know, like, we'll see. Like, let's keep thinking about it. Like, well, we had the dates there, and then like a month before it happened, they're like, let's cancel because I never posted about it because I wasn't sure, because of the quarantine stuff. And so then she was telling me, and then after we got to talking about it, she was like, we also can't go to Canada, so it's like definitely kind of sketchy, like to run a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even recall the amount of times that we would watch whales in Canada.
Great example of how the borders really are just a line on a piece of paper.
100%.
So I
And
felt
so
really bad. Yeah, bad for him about that because that happened, and so everyone's pretty much doing land-based stuff. Yeah, and some of the boats, yeah, just mid-October they were all done, So what was
that's
gonna?
why I think that San Juan Islands is really, well, Pacific Northwest in general is really going to need help promoting that they will still see whales, even though the southern resident killer whales. I mean, realistically, they're
Such a
already seeing
tricky
more
thing.
transients and humpbacks anyways in the southern residents.
Yeah, I mean they've
So
hardly seen the southern residents the last 2 whale watch seasons anyway.
it's so stupid. End of story. Like the whole thing is a joke because the transients are completely thriving up there with the same amount of noise, the same amount of fishing boats, whale watching boats, turkey
Yep.
burgers, you name it. They're thriving, and the southern residents are just not. So
Yeah, has to be the food.
exactly, and the things that are helping with depleting the food, like the dams and commercial
Yeah.
fishing and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, until you want to have a serious conversation about fishing regulations and dam removals and river management, like all this is just like band-aids. It's not going to work. Like
It's easy for them to blame it on the whale watch companies because you can say, oh, the whales are highly dependent on sound and these boats are destroying their language or whatever. But it's just like it's not. Governments don't see the issue. That's not the issue. It's the
And
food source.
what's sad is like this issue probably wouldn't even have brought up if it weren't for the whale watch industry. We're the only
Yeah.
ones. We're the ones that care.
100%.
That actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's another reason why they do it. Honestly, if you take out the big media source of these whales, people aren't going to hear about it. And so, I mean, like they're the only people that are able to document these whales every single day. Basically for free because they're already working anyways.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Well, on the bright side, they did announce that they were going to be taking down the Klamath River dams.
That project's
Nice.
been a long time in the making.
Long time coming.
So, yeah, that's an agreement between Oregon and Washington that's finally gained some traction. Or, I mean, between Oregon and California.
In California,
finally,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's gained some traction. So, that's good.
That's
gonna be pretty.
That's awesome.
So we'll stay hopeful. Maybe Washington will get their act together.
Hopefully, when they do it, they like keep it clean, right? When they like remove it.
Yeah,
I can't even fathom what dam removal is going to be like.
Well,
but
yeah, there's like a couple ways to go about it. I haven't kept up with the latest on like if they have plans released to how they're going to do it, but
Gonna need a shovel.
You're gonna need a shovel. Because sometimes they just blast them. Sometimes they blast them partially and then let the river take over. So I don't know. We'll see what they're.
As long as they're not doing it during like some sort of like fish run or something, huh? It'd be fine.
Yeah, that'll be part of their environmental impact study they have to do before they do it. So.
Wow.
That's awesome.
We'll see.
That's definitely step in the right direction. Hopefully, we can get those lower Snake River dams next. That's the big one for the Rezzies.
I do want to say that it is possible to leave a public comment on that commercial whale watching license program proposal. Yes. So I'll figure out. Katlyn, maybe you can put it on the Patreon for sure, right?
Yeah, I can also put it on our Facebook page.
Oh, Facebook. There you go. So yeah, if you can put it on our Facebook, and then there's a public comment. Like you can read through this, and then you can have your opinion on it, and then you can leave a public comment. The owner of Maya's Legacy reached out to me and asked if we would all share it. So
sweet. Yeah,
definitely will.
Yeah. That sounds good. Well, friends, I think that's all the whale news I had.
I think you had all the whale news.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, I'll probably catch up with you guys somewhere inside the ICW. We'll see. I hope it doesn't.
Intensive care unit? What'd you just say?
What? ICW.
Oh, W, not you.
Intracoastal waterway. No, I don't want to end up on the ICU.
I thought you were saying ICU for a second. I was looking over at the Happywhale map.
I have a little cut on my hand and a couple bruises. I'm trying to not have anything more major than that.
You can join Slater with his wrist.
No, I'm not skateboarding during this trip.
Oh yeah, Slater, how's that going? You okay?
I just can't twist it. It's this way and
Oh,
that
I
way.
heard it
That
crack.
hurts.
Was that a
So,
crack from
no,
the wrist?
it will. If I have my arm fully extended, I could rotate it over, but I can't use my wrist to turn over. It hurts so bad, you guys. The first day was taking my breath away when I did it. It
Bummer,
really hurt.
dude.
You take my breath.
Yeah,
But I think that was mainly because it swelled up that first day initially.
yeah.
So I think that's why it was really tight to turn. But yeah, when it first happened, I was going like this. And it was like that. And Margo was like, "Yeah, we should probably go to the doctor." But nothing was even broken. So lame. I was hoping something was broken with the.
I got your
Click
picture, so I was like, "What's going on?" And then
I
I
hope
looked at
know.
I looked at the
I'm
floor.
like,
I was like, "That's a hospital."
I guess
like,
I was more mad to find out that nothing was broken, and I was being such a because
You're
it
just
hurt.
old.
Dude, definitely what happened was the way I landed and the way how my arm was bent up is that she said I just tore all of the muscle in there for sure.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It doesn't get easier as you get older. Let Eric and I tell you, two young whippersnappers.
My
Oh my
dad,
God, I'm like so much older than you, and you're still.
you should see what my dad texted me. He said, "How's my little Tony Hawk doing?" Because I told him I was going to he had called me right then when it happened. I was like, well, I'm actually headed to the doctor. And then
You're trying to do a
thought
kickflip?
that. No, dude, I was just hitting this little gap at Volcom Skate Park that I've done 1,000 million trillion billion times my entire life. And I did a lap, and then I went and I did another one, and I clipped my trucks on it's like a step up, right? Like it's a long gap, and then it goes up a curve. And I clipped my trucks on it, dude, and went flying.
Superman.
And all the other skateboarders and all the other kids in the park were like, "Oh shit!" I didn't know that until after we got in the car. Margo goes, "Everybody was looking at you." There was 8 people there. And I was like, I don't really care.
Oh no. All right, well, everybody stay safe in the meantime until we get together next for our podcast.
You wake up and feel like you should skateboard?
Don't do it.
Think about it for an hour.
Think about it for a second. Put on maybe your wrist guards, your knee pads.
It was good talking to all of you guys.
Yeah.
If you guys don't follow us on Facebook or Instagram, it's Whale Nerds. And we also have a Patreon. And thank you to all of the people who are supporting us on that. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And
yeah, I've been trying to post more and more in between episode things on the Patreon. So if you're not on there and you're interested, there's more content on there now. I've had a little gap because I've been on the boat, but should be back on it here pretty soon.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to get on there, logged in on there right now, and put some photos from Adam and I's trip up to Monterey, because we did get some photos. We just really didn't post them.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
For sure. And keep a lookout for our video. It's coming. I promise it's coming.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, you guys. Oh, I just hit my head. Thanks for listening, you guys. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.